If you want to build a $1 million or even a multi-million dollar crypto portfolio, it's still very possible. There are plenty of assets out there that'll give you a 100x or even a 1000x or more return on your investment. We've seen it in the past, and we'll see it again. It's not going to happen in a month, or not even in a year. It'll probably take years, but it's doable. But it's doable if you follow the 3 principles that I'm going to give you in this video, and 2 out of 3 is not enough. You need all 3 of them. And the reason why these principles are so important is a lot of people, including myself, make a lot of mistakes that cause you to lose money in the crypto market. And these mistakes that people like myself have made are the reason why a lot of people are interested in crypto but scared to death to buy it. Now, I'm gonna set you free from something here. If you are interested in crypto but scared to buy it, I'm going to tell you exactly why you're scared to buy it. It's not why you think it is. A lot of people misunderstand their own logic and even their own emotions on this question of why they're afraid to buy crypto. And the reasons they give are things like, I don't understand how it works. I really don't get crypto, and I don't understand how it works, and I don't know what it is, and what can I buy with it, and why is it worth what it's worth, and what is it backed by? Is it fake money? That's the logic that people give. But here's what's underneath that logic. What they're actually saying is simple. I'm scared I'm going to buy it at the wrong time, and then it's going to dump, and I'm going to lose a lot of my money. That's what they're really saying. That's really the only reason why you're scared to buy it. You're not scared to buy it because you don't understand how the blockchain works, or, what a smart contract. You really don't care about. Do you understand how the stock market works? Do you really? You understand the inner workings of it? Do you really understand how the U.S. dollar works? Do you really? Do you really understand the inner workings of the real estate market? Do you really? If I were to say to you, this asset, I guarantee, will pump 1,000% in the next 3 years. If that was guaranteed, would you even hesitate to buy it? Would you need to understand the deep inner workings of it to buy it? No. When you invest, you're after a return on your investment. And the only reason why you need fundamental analysis, which is a deep understanding of the asset that you're buying, is to build your confidence in the return. It increases your confidence. That's really the only fear. The fear is, I'm going to buy it too early, and then it's going to dump, and I will have bought at the wrong time. And your fear is founded. Let me say that. Your fear is founded. I totally get it, because it's exactly what I did. When I bought my first Bitcoin in 2017, it was $4,200. I had no clue how the market cycle worked. I had no clue how technical analysis worked. I had no knowledge. I couldn't look at a chart to tell, is this a good time or a bad time or a mediocre time or a moderate time? I just had to close my eyes and drop my money in and pray for the best. And then I woke up the next morning, and the Bitcoin that I paid $4,200 for was now worth $3,200 because China had banned Bitcoin in the middle of the night again. And I freaked out. The panic hit me so hard. And panic, it causes you to act erratically. It causes you to make terrible decisions. And there's a reason for that. If you're saying, and I hear a lot of people say this, I'm not going to buy it. I'm going to buy it, but not yet, because I'm going to wait. I think it's going to dump further. And when it dumps further, I'm going to buy. Let me tell you what your literal strategy is. You see, both the dumps and the pumps in the crypto market are so intense that they subject you, like no other market, to extreme panic and or euphoria. So if you're saying, I'm going to wait for it to dump and then I'll buy, watch what happens when it really starts dumping, and it starts dumping hard. Here's what's going to happen in your brain. Okay, I'm going to buy it, but should I buy it now or should I wait? Is it going to dump further? Is this the bottom? You have no clue where the bottom is. And because you have no clue where the bottom is, you're just hoping, you're still going to have to, at a certain point, close your eyes and just drop your money in. But then what happens when it dumps further? Now your panic increases and you start to think, this is all going to zero. Let me get out of here. Or you wait too long and it starts pumping. You thought it was going to dump and it starts pumping. And now FOMO kicks in, fear of missing out, which is another form of panic. The effects of panic and or euphoria on the brain are well documented in the neurosciences. What happens when panic and or euphoria hit your brain is that the prefrontal cortex shuts down. The prefrontal cortex is the part of the brain where decisions are made. This is the command center of the brain. And when panic hits your brain, that part of your brain shuts down. It's like trying to make a decision without your brain. It's like turning your brain off and then trying to make major decisions. The point I'm making is that if you haven't made a decision before the pump or the dump, you're going to react to the pump or the dump instead of responding to it. So I'm going to give you 3 principles, 3 very simple principles. And if you follow all 3 of those principles, you can build $1 million or even a multi-million-dollar portfolio. It's still possible. But if you miss even one of these principles, I guarantee your failure. It's not going to work. Principle number 1, just say no to drugs. That's the first principle. Don't buy or sell on drugs. What does that mean? That means that you do not wait for panic to hit your brain, because when panic hits the brain, it's a lot like cocaine. You might as well take a huge hit of cocaine and then make decisions for your portfolio. You might as well shoot up with heroin and then come manage your crypto portfolio. Decide what to buy or sell. Just say no to drugs, meaning make a decision not to make decisions when your brain is on drugs. Panic will not be my decider. I'm going to decide ahead of time, which means I am going to make a decision on the portfolio that I'm going to buy. And I'm going to make a decision on when I'm going to buy and when I'm going to sell. And I'm going to make those decisions before the market dumps and or pumps. So that's number 1, say no to drugs, which leads us to our second principle, which is buy when it's boring. Buy when it's boring. Don't wait for the excitement. When it's boring and it's just ranging and it's just going sideways and not really moving much and it's going sideways for an extended number of weeks and months, perfect. Because there's no drugs in the atmosphere. There's no panic. There's no euphoria. It's nice and boring. And especially if that boring time is a lull down at the bottom of the market after it's already dumped 75 or 80%, or even some assets 95, 96, 97%, and it's just kind of hanging out down there and just moving sideways. That's called a bear market. And do you know what the purpose of bear markets is? Accumulation. Buying when it's boring means using bear markets to accumulate. Don't try to time the bottom. You're not good enough to time the bottom. Nobody actually knows where the bottom is. I don't care how good your technical analysis is. At the end of the day, your guess is as good as anyone else's guess. Now, there are some principles that can give you the general area of the bottom. But the precise bottom, that's not the point. The individuals who build multi-million-dollar crypto portfolios are individuals who use the bear market to accumulate. And the longer the bear market lasts, the happier they are, because it gives them an extended opportunity to accumulate. And every week and every month, they accumulate a little bit more. They just accumulate. And if it goes lower, they accumulate more. And if it goes lower, they accumulate more. And if it goes lower, they accumulate more. They just keep buying it all the way down, all the way down, all the way down. Accumulate, accumulate, accumulate. They love the boring bear market. What happens to most people in the crypto market is they lose interest during the bear market. They check out. Hopefully one day it'll pump. That's when I'll get excited again. I get excited when it dumps and then moves sideways, because that is the opportunity to build a portfolio that will procure riches for you and your family. So buy when it's boring. And then principle number 3, plan your exit. Plan your exit at the bottom, which means you need to set take profit levels on all of your assets. Take profit levels means I know when I'm getting out and how I'm getting out. Now, my personal strategy for setting take profit levels is I have 3 take profit levels for every one of my assets: a 10% level, a 25% level, and a 50% level. If it hits this dollar amount, I'm going to sell 10% of it. It hits that dollar amount, I'm going to sell another 25% of it. Hits that dollar amount, I'll sell 50% of what is remaining. And then the rest, I just let ride. Why? Because I never sell everything of anything, because you never know how high or how far it's going to go. But if you don't have an exit plan, when the market pumps, the euphoria is going to hit you so hard, and you're going to be fooled into thinking that it's going to go up forever. And you'll wait way too long, and the next thing you know, the market tanks, and your opportunity to take profit is gone. I've experienced that, and it is so painful. I'm still feeling the pain of that. Ooh, that stings. But you can avoid that if you build an exit strategy. Now, if you don't do these 3 things, you're going to panic buy and you're going to panic sell. You're going to jump, you're going to buy too late when it's already pumped, and you're going to sell too early, way before the dump. You're going to sell, and then it's going to pump 300% more. And you're going to buy, it's going to drop 50% more. These 3 principles will spare you from all of that. But number 2, if you follow these 3 principles, you're going to build an astronomical foundation of wealth for generations to come, for you and your family. You're going to rescue yourself from the rat race. But most importantly, you're going to be a crypto investor who sleeps in peace every night, who wakes up in joy every morning, and who's able to walk in love every day. And that's big. I mean, that's my personal mission statement. Sleep in peace every night, meaning I'm not tossing and turning. In 2017, I was riddled with anxiety over the crypto market. I'd wake up in the middle of the night to pee, and I had to check the charts to see, did it dump, did it pump? I was euphoric, and I was panicked, and I was panicked, and I was euphoric at the same time, and it was miserable. It was absolutely miserable. And I finally realized this is not so valuable that it should rob me of my sleep. Because if it robs me of my peaceful sleep at night, then it will rob me of my joy in the morning. And if it robs me of my joy in the morning, it robs me of my love during the day. And at the end of the day, my relationships with the members of my family suffer. Nah. You can sleep in peace, you can wake in joy, and you can walk in love as a crypto investor. You do not have to be overwhelmed with panic or euphoria. You can walk in peace if you follow these 3 simple principles that I've given you today. And if you need help with any of the 3 of them, check out my Patreon at patreon.com/cryptogenic. I provide 3 basic things for all of my patrons. Number 1, the Cryptogenic Portfolio. It contains the 20 assets that I currently am invested in, that I'm holding, and that I'm continuing to accumulate. Secondly, I provide take profit levels for all of those assets. Here's where I take my 10% profit level, here's where I take 25, and here's where I take 50. This is my personal exit strategy. And then number 3, I provide real-time technical analysis on a weekly basis. In other words, the market conditions change, and sometimes I have to change those charts. And I provide weekly real-time technical analysis on the charts in my portfolio for all of my patrons. My gold members, I give them a weekly Zoom session for an hour, answer questions, look at any chart they want me to look at, even outside of the Cryptogenic Portfolio. But I tell you what, the value that you receive from being a part of this community far exceeds the $19 price of just the entry level membership subscription in the Cryptogenic Patreon community. So I would encourage you to check that out. I can help you with these 3 things. But in addition, remember that I'm not a financial advisor. I'm simply telling you about my experiences, the mistakes that I made, and the perspectives that have come from them. And if you found this content valuable, do me a favor and hit that like button. Subscribe to this channel if you haven't done so already, and hit that bell so you get notified every time I post something new. But above all, make it your aim to sleep in peace every night, wake in joy every morning, and walk in love every day. This is Cryptogenic, signing out.